Yo, what is up guys? So in today's video I'm going to be going over the best solo ranked arena guide in season 13 of Apex Legends. So we have some like solo ranked arena gameplay in the background, so y'all can just like sit down, relax, watch this gameplay as I go over some tips that I recommend that you do when you're solo queuing. So my first tip is going to be to cover and play with your teammates. So I know a lot of times where your teammates can just rush in and basically just die for free. And this can happen a lot of times, but in these scenarios, you need to be covering your teammates and watching out for them, you know? You can't have the mindset where you're like, my teammate's gonna die anyway, so I'm not gonna cover for them, you know? If you know that your teammate's gonna go a certain side, then you should go to an angle where you can cover for the teammate, cover for the enemy that's gonna be challenging that side, and be covering for them, because that's the only way that you're gonna win. You're not gonna win if you don't believe in your teammates, and if you kind of sacrifice them and say, okay, my teammate's so bad, I'm not gonna try, I lose all hope. You can't be doing that. You need to be playing with your team and watching and seeing how they play and adjust to their play style. Because if you know your teammates are gonna play aggressive, they need to push with them or get an angle where you can cover them from the place that you're at. Because if you sit back while they're pushing, then that's not gonna work either. And most of the time, you're going to be getting teammates that are worse than you. I think like 80% of the time, you're going to get teammates that are like platinum. Or if you're, let's say for diamond or masters, you're probably going to get platinum teammates and maybe diamond teammates. But even if you get diamond teammates, I don't think they're going to be very good. And that's why you need to be carrying your team. That's why using the meta legends and meta weapons is also extremely important. So I would recommend using Horizon, Path, Octane, or Mad Maggie when you're solo queuing, mainly because those are all movement legends and they can cover your team, get angles really easily, and I feel like when you're using those legends, you can do the most damage and apply the most pressure to your enemies when you need to. Like for example with Pathfinder's grapple, you can instantly grapple to the bins and play the head glitch, like for example on Party Crasher or on Drop Off. You can do it to get to the door first and basically take control of the middle area, which is like another really important thing that you need to do when you're playing certain maps. And using the meta guns. So I think the only gun that you should be using is the Mozambique. The Mozambique is by far the best gun for trying to rank up this season if you're playing as a solo. And I know, hammer points are cringe, and using like an R9 or car is probably like funner, and you just enjoy using those SMG guns, and I understand that a lot. But when you're ranking up, the Mozambique is going to be the way to go. Mozambique with hammer points it does so much damage. It's the best gun right now. I made a whole video on it about combining with Mad Maggie and how the strafe speed is insane. If you want to rank up, use Mad Maggie, use the Mozambique. I'm telling you, this is the best combo, best gun. I will assure you that you will be ranking up. And when you're using this gun, you can play really aggressively, and that's why I recommend you getting the angles, playing aggressively when you're playing solo, because most of your teammates, they're not gonna be good enough to get a far angle on the left, so you can probably angle the guy on the right. They're not gonna be thinking like that because they're probably platinum and diamond. They don't really understand that much. While if you know that your teammates won't really push up and they'll just shoot the gun and they won't really push, then you need to be the one getting those angles with these aggressive characters. And I know a lot of people who are like Lifeline mains as a solo, but I'm telling you, Lifeline and like Bloodhound, Seer, those are not the way when you're solo queuing, because it's really hard to cover for your teammates effectively when you're using those legends. And that's why the legends that I just called out, like the Octane, Pathfinder and stuff, you need to be using those. And also another tip when you're ranking up or when you're trying to solo queue is, so when it's like a 1v2, when it's like a 2v1 situation, two of you are up and one of them's up on the other team, you want to play it slow. I know a lot of people who are like, oh, it's only one person, so let's just ape in. This is such a bad plan. And I know, like, if you're if you're playing it as a solo and you can't trust your teammates, this is like the #1 mistake that you can do. Like, don't go easy on them just because they're a solo, because I know so many instances where I've gotten 1v2'd because I hadn't healed, and I was like flesh, and my teammate was also flesh, and we just like both aped in and both died because they had hammer point Mozam. Like, if it's a 2v1, make sure you're getting that win, because if you lose because of some dumb mistake, like you didn't pop a bat because you wanted to just ape the enemy, that's gonna suck, because that can definitely lead to a loss. And in that case, you can't really blame your teammates, because you were the one that made the mistake of not healing. And that's why I tell my teammates, I scream at my teammates, if it's a 2v1, heal up, take it slow. And as you can see in this example, my teammate dies here, but I'm able to cover for him, and we're able to kill him. And I see this Horizon right here, I keep the 1v1. And also using the Devo is important too. If you can afford the Devo, I feel like the Mozambique might even be stronger than the Devo, but the Devo is definitely strong. Now here's a 2v1 situation, and you know, in this situation we were able to coordinate together and ape in. But as you can see, look at this Horizon. The Horizon didn't push up because he was low and he popped up bat. You know, that's the type of stuff you need to be doing. Even if it's a 2v2, take it slow, pop a bat, pop a med kit, so that you can ensure that win. And that's also a really, really important point. And probably the last tip is going to be, so as you can see, we got 45 from that game because we were able to coordinate with our team, and that was probably like, I think that was a 3-stack pred team, and that's why we gained 45, and that was huge. Another thing that you need to be doing is don't blame your teammates after one round that you lost. Now, I know a lot of times you guys probably will type in the chat like, come on guys, like you're throwing, you're dog shit. Like, I know a lot of people who like type that stuff, but that's so discouraging for your team, and that doesn't really change anything. Like, even if you like say that, even if you say that you're trash or something, like that's not gonna do anything. That's not gonna make your teammates feel like, oh crap, I need to do better. They're gonna be discouraged, or they might even get mad at you. They're gonna be like shut the fuck up. Like, you know, there's no point of blaming your teammates in that situation, and that's why it's also another thing where keeping your mentality up. It's all about the mental when you're solo queuing. You know, just because you lost one game doesn't mean that you're gonna. That doesn't mean that you're gonna go on a losing streak. But if you think like, oh my god, it's the end of the world, what am I gonna do? Oh my god, then you're gonna be playing terrible, because you need to be the one carrying your team. And if you're not playing well, if you're not feeling well, then you're not gonna be able to play good. You're not gonna be able to carry your team. And that's the one thing that you also need to be thinking about, that you need to be carrying your team. Like, that's such an important part. Even if you, like, that's the part about soloing which kind of sucks, because when you get some bad teammates, you need to be, like, damaging your enemy as much as possible. Doing as much damage as you can, getting those angles, getting that first down, that's so important. Getting that first knock, oh my god. If you can ensure that you get a knock on the enemy, then that's huge. And also, just a little, like, small tip that I recommend doing is hiding your banner. So let's say if you have like a master's badge or like a pred badge, I wouldn't show it if you're trying to solo queue, because most likely the enemies are going to be focusing you and trying to kill you, which is definitely not the thing that you should be trying to do. Because I mean, let's say if both your teammates are level 60s and then you have like triple pred badges, obviously they're going to be focusing you. And yeah, that's hiding your banners and like badges is important. That's also one really big thing. But yeah, that probably wraps up the video. So if you like the video, be sure to like and sub, and I'll see you all in the next one. See ya.